Welcome to Rewatch and Rank. On this channel, we rewatch older TV shows, provide a summary and opinion on the episode before ranking each episode against each other. Today's episode is Merlin, Season 5, Episode 2, The Death Song of Uther Pendragon. Episode in a nutshell is a brief reminder of what happens in the episode. The episode begins with Merlin and Arthur out hunting, and Merlin has been making noise purposefully or causing a ruckus to scare away any of the prey so that Arthur can't hunt and is being scolded for it, when they happen to hear a noise, which they then realize is a woman's scream. So they then ride to this village where we see a long line of people with torches heading towards a pyre and a stake where they are about to condemn a woman for sorcery. Arthur tells them to stop, cut the woman down, and one of the villagers, presumably the headman, basically says that this person is causing misfortune to their village and is a sorceress and therefore has been sentenced to death. Arthur says that he'll take the woman to Camelot and to cut her down as she hasn't been sentenced by him. And the rest of the villagers seem fine with this. However, Alric, who is the head of the village, tries to set the woman on fire, Valdis, anyways. But Arthur pulls his sword. They then take the woman away. However, she dies on the way to Camelot, and as she is dying, she commends Arthur for his compassion, saying that that is the best way to rule, and gives him a horn of Cathbad. I'm not sure of the exact pronunciation, but they then take that to Camelot. Gaius identifies it as belonging to the old religion, and it is a horn that can summon the dead. And Arthur, after a celebration for his coronation anniversary comes around, is feeling melancholy for missing his father, and so he and Merlin take a trip to what looks like Stonehenge, though they call it the Nematon. And while there, Arthur blows on the horn, enters the Vale, and is able to speak with his father, where his father tells him what a disappointment he was, or is, marrying a servant, knighting commoners, listening to other people, not being feared, basically his entire legacy destroyed. And so they then part ways, but as Arthur is leaving, his father tells him that he'll always love him anyways, and so Arthur looks back. They then return to Camelot, where strange occurrences and hauntings happen. The doors slam open, a chandelier falls on the round table. While the knights are getting changed after weapons practice, Percival is hit by an axe. Then Guinevere is attacked, and all the while Arthur is saying that it couldn't possibly be his father's ghost. But Gaius warns that when using the horn, if you're in the Vale and you look back as it's closing, that releases the spirit into the world, and as the only spirit they've summoned so far at this point in time is Uther's, it's likely Uther, and Merlin reminds him he did say he was very disappointed in how Arthur was ruling. Gaius then makes a potion that allows them to see ghosts, and they are able to then see Uther, who basically once again tells Arthur that Camelot comes before all, even him, and knocks Arthur out. This is when Merlin comes and reveals his magic, which shocks Uther, and he's horrified and he tries to kill Merlin. However, before he can kill Merlin, Arthur wakes up and blows the horn, which banishes him back to the spirit realm, leading to a happy ending. Alright, so now that we've been reminded about what happened in the episode, we'll now rank the episode. Rank on our mostly objective ranking list first, followed then by the personal ranking list. And we have first our single episode supporting character worth 1 point, and this is Valdis, the lady who gave the horn. Then we have positive 3 points each for the multi-season supporting character developments. So we have Uther summoned from the dead, Percival being attacked, and then Gwen being attacked. And finally, we have 4 points for the Horn of Cathbad, which has the power again to summon the spirits of the dead and allows the person to essentially visit the person in the veil. However, as the veil is closing, if they look back, they allow the spirit to enter into the world of the living, where it can cause chaos, such as attacking a bunch of people, expressing its disappointment, trying to kill Merlin, which, now that I think about it, will also add 2 points in each for our multi-season main character developments, as both Arthur and Merlin are also attacked by Uther. However, this does make the points well above 10. I didn't think that there were any negatives. I mean, obviously, Uther's behavior sucks, but he's a spirit. I don't know that he can be held to the same standards as a human. And frankly speaking, he is kind of, at this point, a villain, and we don't know what could have happened in the Vale. Like, it could just be that he doesn't necessarily, like, they could come back strange. That's pretty, like, we didn't get enough information on exactly what he is. I mean, I guess I can take negative messaging or behavior for Uther attacking everybody, but I'm just going to honorably mention it rather than do that, and it doesn't change the score anyways, so it's not really a point. So, ultimately, 10 out of 10 for this episode, objectively. So because when more than one episode has the same score, it is just ranked in the episode order. Our mostly objective ranking so far has episode 1, Arthur's Bane, in first, followed by the death of Uther Pendragon in second. On to my personal ranking. I love the creepy vibes of the haunting episodes. I do tend to rate those highly because I do enjoy them. I did also like how they made Uther black and white in the realm of the living, but in the Vale he was in color to show that he does not belong in the realm of the living. I do also enjoy that there were some bits of comedy in the episode, like when Arthur and Merlin are walking around looking for Uther's ghost. They're caught by Leon, and he's like, "What are you guys doing out in like the middle of the night in the hallway?" And Arthur leaves the excuse to Merlin, who basically decides that they both love poetry, and they were out in the middle of the night to recite and read poetry, which I thought was hilarious. There was also some banter back and forth, which is normal for Merlin and Arthur. But again, most of the points kind of came from the creep vibes, like the haunting vibes. I also like the concept of being able to speak with someone in the realm of the dead. And then also the fact that looking back is what released Uther, not the summoning itself. So basically, otherwise it would be safe. So it shows how magic can kind of twist, how it can be used for good, but then also can go wrong and cause trouble, which it did in this case. I also like that Uther managed to find out about Merlin's magic after his death and is super shocked about that and like kind of admonishes himself for being the one to have named Merlin as Arthur's servant. But then he does try to kill Merlin, which luckily Arthur stops, though before he disappears, he almost outs Merlin, which is a little point of tension in the episode. Ultimately, though, I don't think it was as good as our last kind of haunting episode, um, where Morgana was the cause. So I gave it an 8 out of 10 because it was a really good episode. I did enjoy the vibes of the episode, but there are better haunting episodes within the series, and that puts the personal ranking list the same as the mostly objective ranking list. Arthur's Bane first, followed by the death of Uther Pendragon. Bringing us now to our series rankings so far, where we'll rank each of the seasons against each other. And the mostly objective ranking so far has Season 4 in first place at 86.36%, Season 2 second at 70.83%, Season 3 third 70%, and Season 1 at 69.23%. Season 5 so far has 20 out of 110. On the personal ranking side, we have Season 4 in first at 79.09%, Season 3 second at 72.73%, Season 2 third at 70.83%, and then Season 1 currently in fourth at 62.92%, and Season 5 has a score of 17 out of a possible 110 so far. But with that, we've now rewatched and ranked Merlin Season 5, Episode 2, The Song of Uther Pendragon. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, The Death Song of Uther Pendragon. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, and I'll see you in the next episode.